What up, YouTube? Sid Rodriguez here with Encouraging Minds, where I say chase your dreams, your passion, and your heart with all your might. Dude, I also believe that success leaves clues, and today's Success Leaves Clues is with none other than Connor Allen.
What's up, fam? What's up?
What's going on?
I'm good, man.
This episode is for sports editors, sport writers, right?
Sports journalists, anyone
journalists.
in journalism, anyone likes to write, I do all those kind of things. I write for magazines, I write for newspapers, all kinds of stuff.
What made you start in that profession?
Yeah, it's actually funny how I started with it. So when I went to college, I started off with a degree in communications, and so you can take classes in all different kinds of courses, and I didn't actually really take any journalism classes. But I saw the kids that were, and we had a school newspaper, and I liked to read it. And I actually started doing more news stuff, like KSBY's type stuff, like where I'm on a camera doing kind of like this. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really fun. And then after I graduated college, I went and started working in TV. Actually, I started working kind of with the Jackass guys. I got an internship with the Jackass guys.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was working with them for a little bit, and then at the end of my internship, I submitted a script to them for a commercial that I wanted to try to produce. That was kind of like our senior project. And Jeff really liked it, and kind of right then and there, they were talking to me about, hey, you want to come write with us and work on this TV show they were working on? Mm-hmm. So I did that for a little bit, and they wanted me to come help them with the next season. But the way the TV works, it's seasonal, So it was like, they were like, we want you to do this, but it's going to be in 3 months. For only 3 months.
Right.
I have no money. I just graduated college, so I was like, I gotta go home. I don't have no money.
Something more stable.
So I went home. I worked at MindBody for like a year. It's a tech company in Slow, if you guys don't know about it. And I just kind of miss writing. I love writing. I love just expounding on ideas and just kind of molding minds and just kind of putting my 2 cents out there, essentially. Mm-hmm. And so I emailed the newspaper. I just asked them if I could write a once-a-week column. I was just like, hey, can I write a once-a-week column? And you don't have to pay me or anything. I'll just come in and write a column, Okay. And they emailed me back and they said, sure, send us some writing samples. So I sent them a couple samples, came in for an interview. Next day, they offered me the whole department.
No way.
And they were just like, how about instead of writing a column, you come and be our sports editor, and you can write for both Atascadero and Paso, and you can do both. And I kind of sat and thought about it for a couple days, and I thought, man, that sounds pretty sweet. And so then I switched, and that was 4 years ago. So here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for 4 years now,
yeah.
Total? Wow, that's pretty cool. What's a sports journalist do? What do you do? What's your job?
The cool thing about me, so, back in the day when newspapers were really big, you had a bunch of different people that did a bunch of different jobs. So you'd have like your beat reporter, and your beat reporter is a guy that goes to the games, and he doesn't give you any opinion or anything. He just gives you this, in the second inning, so-and-so hit a home run. So-and-so threw
all stats.
So many strikeouts.
Statistics.
It's just basically the play-by-play of the game in word form. So you can see it, That's the beat writer. Okay. So that's one of my gigs. Okay. I also do all the photography for the sports section. When I got into this job, I had never taken a photo of anybody except for myself, basically, a selfie, Yeah. And so I had to teach myself some photography, went and bought a camera. So that's another job that generally would be in a newspaper. And then there's a columnist, and that's the guy that gets to do opinions. That's the guy that gets to write about, well, I think, you get to use the word I. When I write, I don't ever get to use I most of the time, or me. You don't get to use those kind of personal pronouns, so you have to use, the facts and they said this, they asked the Paso Robles press, you can't say it was me.
Right.
And so then those are like basically the 3 functions of my job. So I'm either covering the sports, just the game,
okay,
or I also just break news too. Like just today, I don't know when this will come out, but on Monday I reported that Templeton Athletic Director is stepping down. So I also break news that way.
Oh wait, you're stepping down?
Templeton Athletic Director.
Templeton Athletic Director, position open and available. Now,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Inside news. We don't have to put this out quick.
Yeah, they're gonna be flying it, man. And so like I break news sometimes, and then other times you can just sit there and talk about whatever you want to talk about,
Let me ask you, what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Easily when, I can give you an example. It's just seeing that you've made a difference and you've helped someone. There's a lot of different times, but for example, we have a kid in Atascadero named Keenan Howell, and he is a trampoline. He's one of the best in the world. Competitive trampoline.
Wow.
So basically what it is, if you take, it's like Olympic diving, but into a trampoline. So instead of doing one Olympic dive, he does 10 in a row. Olympic dive, hits the trampoline, goes up, does another one. Hits the trampoline, goes up, does another one. And this kid's from Atascadero, and he is, like I say, he's one of the best in the world. He's like literally could go to the Olympics in a couple years.
Wow.
But it's a sport that's obscure. No one really knows about it, right? But he's one of the best. He wanted to keep doing it. He wanted to pursue it. And so when his parents came to me, they asked me, hey, first I saw what he was doing. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I would love to cover that. I love covering new sports. I've covered everything from turkey races to scooter competitions to football games to say championships. I've covered it all.
Wow.
But I thought this would be cool, and so I meet with the kid, and I've developed a really good rapport with the family. They talk to me all the time, and they email me and text me updates about how he's doing. But basically, what happened was I wrote this article about him, brought the awareness of basically the consciousness of the city that this kid exists here, and I put his GoFundMe at the bottom of it because he wanted to move from Atascadero down to Rancho to start training at the USA Training Center with all the best gymnasts in the world, and he was able to do that. And he moved. They got a GoFundMe, and when I hear about people being like, oh, you giving us that support, gave people knowledge of what we were doing and helped support us, those are what make me feel the best. And so like when you write something about somebody and they get back to you and say it really helped, or thank you, that's the most rewarding part, and that's kind of what you do. So I've also had the opportunity to like
meet some.
Yeah, like I met some cool people. Like I did an interview with Garth Brooks a couple years ago.
Come on, not the one that.
Yeah, at the fair. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did an interview with Garth. It was super cool, man. He's the most down to earth guy. I met his wife too, Trisha Yearwood. Got to interview her.
Yep, Trisha.
And then I've had the opportunity to go. Like I saw the Temptations, and I was like second row. I've seen Lionel Richie. I've got to see all these dudes.
So some of the perks is you get to travel the world. And meet different. Wow.
The local newspaper, it's not so much travel in the world, but this county, man,
it's got a lot of it.
Yeah, and then I've also done stuff. Yeah, and this is the thing is, you just kind of custom tailor to the type of person that you are. Because when you're a journalist, you only want to write about things that you like and you enjoy. Because if I don't enjoy doing something,
you won't do
the story's gonna suck.
I got you.
Because I ain't gonna like to do it, and I ain't gonna want to talk about it.
Right.
So I do things that I like to do. So then, thus, my life becomes awesome because. Most of the days I'm covering sports. I'm out at a baseball game, at a track meet, just having a great time. Who cares? I've done that anyways.
Right.
Other times I'm at concerts and stuff, having a great time. Another thing I do is I'll go to like breweries or I'll go to wineries or whatever, and I'll write articles on them for our magazine. You make all these friendships with all these people, and you see them all around, and it's so cool because you never know when it could come out in the long run.
I'll tell you this right now. I met a fire chief since I started my YouTube channel. I met a fire chief. I got to sit down, talk to him, learn a little bit about fire.
That can only help.
Fitness trainer. I'm down 20 pounds.
Hey,
I'm so good. I did just a couple of things that she said to do.
Yeah.
Right? So, I want to get Ray because he's a barber in Slow.
He's about to have some free time.
Hey, he's about to have some free time. So I'm about to go meet him. Yeah. I'm going to interview Ray. I'm coming for you.
That's right.
And then I was able to do a lot of good stuff and talk to a lot of people. So
you should have Ray cut your hair while you're interviewing him.
Yeah, I might go to the shop. It'd
be a combo. He can show off his skills while he's talking about it.
And also be advised that I am going to show some of your columns.
Sure. And
in the comments below, I'll list some of his articles, things like that, so that way you can read up on it.
Appreciate that.
Here's a question. So in your field or in your profession, what's the negative stuff? What's the stuff that
sure, yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, just
like what is it?
Well, just for right now, you look at the state of the country that we're in. Everyone who's the first person everyone blames for any kind of hysteria?
Media.
Exactly. And
I'm blaming you right now.
Exactly.
Hey, this whole virus thing is your fault.
100%. And it's kind of one of those things where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? A lot of times, people just the media is just this entity out there that's that scares people. They don't really think about who's in the media around them or what the media is. Because a lot of times, and I get sensationalized journalism is a thing. Fox News, CNN, whatever, they both engage in it on both sides. But for the most part, especially your local journalists like this, we're just reporting facts.
Yeah.
And if facts scare you, then I'm sorry, buddy, you got bigger problems. If facts are scaring you, because we're just reporting the facts. And so a lot of times it's like that. People get into it, or people want to come up to me and have arguments about political stuff or something that I've written, But for the most part, I feel like you're doing the public good. It's important to get out the information out there. But that's definitely the main part. Is people just sometimes you tell them you work for the media or you work as a journalist, and they're just like, bah! And they just don't want anything to do with it.
I know you heard the cliche, right?
Yeah.
If you don't watch media, if you don't watch media, you're uninformed, and if you watch media, you're misinformed.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that thing bites me.
Well, the thing is, the thing that drives me the most crazy about that stuff too is just like if you're if you're an intelligent adult, male or female or anybody, you should be able to be smart enough to vet your sources as well. You shouldn't take anything you see on TV or anything that you read as fact unless you do some research on your own. Make sure who is writing it. Make sure the person that's writing it is credible, or make sure whatever the topic is right. Maybe make sure it's coming from the right news source. So you didn't just find it off of someone's blog post. You know, like. And that's a big part of it too, is that people don't really do their due diligence and figuring out where the source came from. Because anyone can pretend to be a journalist nowadays. It's not the same. Like, they're not grabbing newspapers and reading it. A lot of times they're just looking at something on a Twitter post or a Facebook post. And it's like, man, anyone in the world could have written that. You need to do your research as well.
Right, and do your.
You know?
If you have more questions, leave them in the comments below, and then I can get to Connor, and then we'll figure out how to get back to you.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Connor. I appreciate you, man. That's
course,
pretty much. I'm out of time.
Let's go.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it the virus. We'll do it the virus way.
Hey, virus approved. And it's Sid approved, brother.
And Sid approved.
Let's go.
Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate that, guys. If you want to be a journalist, if you want to get into newspaper, writing columns, all that stuff, go to your nearest newspaper place.
Yeah, or hop online, go to the website, go to the nearest newspaper office. But for the most part, just send an email. Start sending emails. Start reaching out to people.
And then they'll start providing.
Reach out to me if you want to write something. Reach out to me.
There it is, guys. All right, that's the end of it, guys. Thank you for being here. Like I always say, I wish you all the best and great success. Until we see each other again, God bless. Take care.